So what I did for chapter 5, I created video because I don't know when I'll start the chapter 5. So I said, okay, whenever I get time, I'll make some videos. Okay, so now we have to do our prayer and all. Okay, let's do that. Actually, I should record it only after the prayer. See? Om Shri Guru Namaha Harihi Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam
Vacharyam Keshav
Badarayanam Sutra Bhashikruto
Vasikito Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah
Sada Shiva Samarambam
Samadhambam
Shankaracharya
Shankaracharya Madhyamam
Asmadacharya
Asmadacharya
Paryantam
Paryantam
Vande Guru
Vande Guru
Paramparam.
Paramparam.
Okay. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyoma Vadyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. You know, there is a feature in to synchronizing the sounds of everybody. Okay? Background noise suppression. Live performance audio recommended for multiple instruments or voices performing together in a meeting. Shall I try this? Oh no, then it removes the background noise removal. Okay. So we will keep the background noise removal. That's better. Om Dayanandeshwaraya Namaha. Now we go to our Aparokshanubhuti. Shri Harim Paramanandam
Shri Hari Paramanandam
Upadeshtaramishwaram
Upadeshtaramishwaram
Vyapakam Sarvalokanam
Vyapakam
Vyapakam
Sarvalokanam
Sarvalokanam
Karanam Tam Namamyaham.
Karanam Tam Namamyaham.
Okay, let's try the next one. Aparokshanubhutirvai
Aparokshanubhutirvai
Prochyate moksha siddhaye
Rochate moksha siddhaye
Tadviresha prayatnena
Sadvidesha prayatnena
Vikshaniya muhurmuhu
Vikshaniya
Vikshaniya
muhurmuhu
Swavarnashrama dharmena
Swavarnashrama dharmena
Swavarnashrama
Tapasa haritoshanad
Tapasa
Haritoshanam
haritoshanat
Sadhanam prabhavet pumsam
Sadhanam
Sadhanam
prabhavet
Bhagave
pumsam
Pumsam
Vairagyadi chatuштayam.
Vairagyadi
Vairagyachatushtayam.
chatushkayam.
Sarojanti, we are reading from the screen.
Yes. Okay.
And we are reading this. Sadaiva vasana tyagaha
Sadaiva
Sadaiva
vasana
Vasanatyaga
tyagaha
Shamoyam iti shabditaha
Shamoyam
Shamoyam
iti
Niti Shabditaha
shabditaha
Nigraho bahya vrittinam
Nigraho
Nigraho bahya
Bhahyavrittina
vrittinam
Dama ityabhidiyate
Dama
Dama
Ityabhidiyate
ityavidiyate
Vishayebhya paravrittihi
Vishayevya
Vishayevya
Pravriti
paravrittihi
Paramo paratirhisa
Paramo
Paramo
paratirhisa
Paratirisa
Sahanam sarva dukkhanam
Sahanam
Sahanam
sarva
Sarvadukkanam
dukkhanam
Titiksha sa shubhamata
Titiksha
Pratiksha
sa shubhamata
Subhavata
Nigamacharya vakyeshu
Nigamacharya
Nigmacharya
vakeshu
Vakeshu
Bhakti Shaddeti Vishruta
Bhakti
Bhakti
Shadveti
Shaddeti
Vishruta
Vishruta
Chitte Kagriyam Tu Sallakshye
Chitte
Chitte Kakyam Tu
Taikaguru
Sallakshe
Samadhanam Iti Smritam.
Samadhanam
Samadhanam
Iti
Vidismritam.
Smritam.
तो इस बार मैंने वो किया था कि जो मैंने सिंक्रोनाइज किया था कि हम मल्टीपल लोग करेंगे ना तो सिंक्रोनाइज कर देते. अभी आई विल पुट इट बैक ऑन जूम बैकग्राउंड नॉइज रिमूवल. ओके, ग्रेट. So I learned something today. Okay, so we are on this, we finished with Titiksha and we are on this Shraddha Iti. Page 102.
No, we have done that. We are on page 107.
107.
Yeah, but I usually summarize, no?
Yeah.
Right.
So that is verse number 8 on page 102 for Sarojanti's benefit. So basically, Swamiji says Shraddha is same as Bhakti. And we saw that it is the trust in the words of Vedanta and in the words of the teacher. Even as we would trust our eyes and our ears to give us right information, so too we trust the words of the Shastra to be giving us the correct knowledge of the nature of the self. Yeah. And since Shastra is handled by the teacher, we have that much trust in the teacher also. Ki teacher bhi gap nahi maar raha hai. Teacher is also telling the same words of the Shastra. Then Swamiji gave a beautiful portion. Study of the Shastra requires an open mind, and giving the benefit of the doubt to the teacher. So when you don't understand what you're listening to, then on page 107 in the first paragraph, if you think it's not okay, don't reject it. Instead, maintain the attitude that presently I don't understand what the teacher is saying, but I will set it aside, for the future, and maybe later I will be able to understand. And this is very true because many questions will come in our mind, and then as we study further, those questions are answered. Iti. So he said this is called giving benefit of doubt to the teacher and Shastra. Okay. Then we came to page 107. Distorted perceptions must be corrected. Did we finish that?
No, we didn't.
We didn't start.
No, we
Okay.
have to start from here.
Start from there. Om. Okay. So I'm going to start. I may read 2 or 3 paras. Okay. Because some of this is, I may read 2 paragraphs. Ultimately, all false or distorted perceptions have to go. So, Vedanta says our perception that I am the body is distorted perception. Okay, so ultimately, all false or distorted perceptions have to go. All that Vedanta seeks to do is to give us the right perception. Wrong perception is our problem, and right perception is the solution. It is as simple as that. You are the problem and you are the solution. There's a famous line of Puja Swamiji.
Yes.
There was a booklet like that. With the wrong perception, I am a problem to myself. And with the right perception, I am a solution to myself. We can call it knowledge, understanding, or right perception about myself. As my perception about myself becomes more and more right, every other perception also becomes right because my opinion about people or the world is based on my opinion about myself. Yeah, we saw last time how what we think about ourselves is how we will reflect the world and God also. Iti. Because of our judgments about ourselves, we may feel that the world is out to get us. Some people know they don't trust the world at all. And then so they will feel that the world is out to get me. कि सब लोग मेरे पीछे ही पड़े हैं, सब लोग, they want to make me wrong, they want to trouble me, everybody wants to trouble me iti, because they have got a victim mindset iti. So Swamiji says, in any case, there is always a battle going on. Ignorance is the only problem. We have to recognize that the main problem we have in our lives is ignorance, which has caused all these wrong opinions or conclusions or perceptions. This is the only cause of sorrow in the eyes of Vedanta. Okay? Nobody can cause us sorrow if we do not allow them to. And I made a point here. This statement becomes true for us after more and more antakarna shuddhi, after antakarna shuddhi improves. Nobody can cause us sorrow if we do not allow them to. Wow, what a sentence, eh? Nobody can cause us sorrow unless we allow them to. What do you think this sentence means? Eh?
It means we are given our remote control to somebody else. Which means that we are controlled by the remote control. As you start the TV, you close the TV, and they can do the same thing with us.
Yes.
That we should not allow that to be done.
Yeah. So we don't allow others to control our thinking and our feeling. Eh? We empower others to make us unhappy by our own wrong understanding, which causes ragadvesha, attachment, and aversion. These are all products of ignorance, a distorted understanding of the world. I don't see things as they are, and then I brand them as likable, dislikable, desirable, undesirable, and so on. So, what does seeing things as they are, what does it mean in the context of Antakarana Shuddhi?
कौन सा जगह से गुरुमा जी कौन सा
ये वाली जो sentence है ना, I don't see things as they are, and then I brand them as likable, dislikable, desirable, undesirable, and so on.
No, because
What
of
does
the
this?
because of the ignorance, as the heading goes, that we are seeing this word in a different way. I mean, anyway, now we know a little bit that we see this name and form and all, and which the Vedanta says, it is a wrong conception. They are not name and form. They are basically something else which you are not able to see. So we have.
So that's what Swamiji is saying. We don't see things as they are, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We don't. We are seeing. Okay, uncle.
We
No.
see the things with super added likes and dislikes.
Yes.
Super added likes and dislikes also we see.
Yeah. We add our project our likes and
Objective.
dislikes
That's
on
right.
the world. Yeah.
No, because
and we see
we
everything through that. Our eyes. That means personally we assess the world
no,
from
as you
our
said,
standpoint alone. If
as
we
you
are
said,
assessing the world.
as you said, Guru Maharaj, it is antakaran because अभी डॉक्टर साहब ने जो बताया, it is the basic problem is raga and dvesha.
Yeah.
So which is what the Gita is telling that we have to get rid of these raga and dvesha. They are our own creator, you see.
Now this is from standpoint of Antakarana Shuddhi.
Yes.
From standpoint of Vedanta, the vision will be what? All this is Ishvara.
Yes.
Right? All this is nothing else but Ishvara. Ishvara's dream. We can go one step further. All this is Ishvara's dream. Iti.
Elsewhere, Guru Maharaj, आपने भी बताया डॉक्टर साहब से भी, मैंने as the bangle sees a different, has a ring is seeing necklace is different.
Exactly.
But if they projected that we are all gold, similarly,
Yes.
if we are Satyam Garam Antam, all of us, so
Yeah.
there is no duality, you see that.
Yes, exactly. And then the differences are only
Apparent.
It is created by us, ignorance.
the differences are there. It's not that differences are not there, but we don't take them as being real differences. Because you see, I have a glass over here. Oops, you can't see it, I have a straw here and straw is definitely different from this. So differences are there. It's not that differences are not there. This body is different from Soni uncle's body, is different from Anita's body, is different from Saroj auntie's body. So it's not that the differences are not there. In our perception, the differences are there, right? But we don't take them as real difference. That in and through the difference, Satchidananda is there. The isness is the same. The honapan of every cell on Soni uncle's body is the same honapan of every cell in this body. That isness is absolutely the same. There is no difference in that isness of the two. Iti. So the material of which they are made is different, but it looks different. Iti. The name and form are different, but essentially they look different, but essentially they are not different. So all that is here is
Yeah.
Ishvara and nothing else.
They are all Brahman.
They are all Brahman. Yeah, all is here is Brahman. Okay? Then we'll go one step further. That we can do later when we come to that. Okay. So now let's look at that. Now we are here. The in the middle, somewhere towards third.
I don't see.
The only source of sorrow. Yeah, I don't see things as they are, and then I brand them as likable, dislikable, desirable, and undesirable, and so on. The only source of sorrow is ignorance, and the wrong perception caused by ignorance. This should be clear to us. No father, no mother, no son, no daughter, nobody can cause me sorrow if I don't allow them to. I have made myself vulnerable so anybody can make me miserable. That is my problem, not anyone else's. Okay, this is very hardcore Vedanta. Okay.
So very
Emotional
difficult.
problems result from
It's very difficult, no doubt.
very
but-
difficult. Yeah. So we'll just say, we'll just put it like that. We don't have to go this far. We can just say that we take care. At least in fundamentally, principally, we have understood it in principle. So as and when these emotions come up in our head, we will process them so that we come out of it faster. Yeah, our job is to process. कुछ भी ऐसे आया मेरे अंदर, दुख आया मेरे अंदर, गुस्सा आया मेरे अंदर, कुछ भी आया, jealousy आया, greed आया, जो भी आया, after all we are human, something or the other can come, it can get triggered anytime. So our job as sadhakas is what? We will process it, and then we will try to come out of it as quickly as we can. Yeah, that's all we have to say, nothing more. Don't make any, don't judge yourself on based of that. Judgment of ourselves, is a real bane, because the truth is your Satchidananda. Where you are going to judge yourself, this is all the mind. The mind is doing whatever it's doing. दुख होता है, कभी सुख होता है, कभी ये होता है, कभी वो होता है. तो अपने आप को उसके ऊपर जज मत करना. No? To judge ourselves. It's natural. We have association with people. Sometimes dukkha will come, sometimes hurt will come, sometimes guilt will come. Okay, we will deal with it as and when it comes. Yeah, in keeping with our understanding of Shastra. Okay. So, in keeping with our understanding, start with small level, okay? With Ishvara, start with Ishvara, and only then afterwards we this thing. The same things which Swamiji said under this thing, no, titiksha, etc. That it is okay, this is come by prarabdha, and then there must be something good in it. Ishvara is my suhrad. इसमें कुछ होगा मुझे सीखने के लिए. And if you take this line कि इसमें कुछ सीखने के लिए है, if you take that one line and make that your own, then everything becomes easier. Because समझो आपके अंदर गुस्सा आया, ओके, ये सिचुएशन मुझे ट्रिगर करता है, इसके अंदर मुझे कुछ सीखने को है, इति. Why did I get angry? What is my trigger? Iti. So all the time we will find our own triggers, what life is for learning. So I feel that this is a very big part of growth, where we are able to say life is for learning. I feel it's kind of central. Once we have that attitude, life is for learning, then any situation that comes in our life, okay, we will use it for learning. It is. Hmm? Sometimes the lessons are a bit on the hard side, but we will use it for that. Yeah. Okay. Uh, Emotional problems result from wrong understanding. Swami, Bhatyanka?
Life is meant to make us yogis, provided that you want to become a yogi.
We don't want to become.
Yeah. No, it's tough to become a yogi. Let's put it that way.
I feel that it is for those people who has followed the Shreyas path instead
Yeah.
of Prayas path.
Yeah. Only
Prayas
for
path,
prayer.
people will never think of becoming a yogi.
Never,
Only
never.
Shreyas path.
Yeah.
Shreyas path.
Yeah.
First, you have to decide that whether
Which
you
path?
want to
Go
Shreyas or
prayers
Prayas.
or prayers.
Uh-huh.
So then once you decided, okay, I'm on the path of this,
Shreyas.
Shreyas.
yeah, then
Otherwise,
you will keep trying, even though it's tough, you will keep trying. कुछ ना कुछ आप try करते रहोगे, even though it's tough. Okay.
otherwise you remain an emotional ninja and keep fighting all the time. We have to do something with ourselves. We have to evaluate our understanding and opinions. What happens outside need not cause sadness. The world pushes our buttons in the form of our wrong opinions about ourselves. We can't change the world, but we can remove the buttons.
Big sentence, no? We can't change the world, but we can remove our buttons.
These buttons are there because of our wrong understanding. So we remove them by right understanding. We deliberate upon and understand the meaning of what the teacher says. Compare that with our present understanding and then make a change wherever change is needed.
Yeah.
The whole problem is an intellectual problem, a problem of understanding. Wrong understanding is the problem, and the right understanding is the solution. This wrong understanding is what creates emotional problems and impulses. As our understanding gets corrected, these impulses are slowly ironed out, and emotionally we become healthier people.
Yeah, just 1 minute. So, our mind goes to what is familiar to it. That's why changing is so difficult, because we will automatically go to whatever we are familiar with. Now, supposing my value is for peace, okay? I say I choose peace. It has to be a conscious thing in my mind that I choose peace. But my mind is not a peaceful mind. Even though I say I choose peace, my mind is not a peaceful mind. Then what becomes my commitment? I will say whatever is not like peace, whatever is unlike peace, I don't want. Iti. So I will familiarize myself with what is peace. Let me understand what is peace. Peace is not restlessness. Peace is not grief. Peace is not hurt. Peace is not guilt. Peace is not anger. Peace is not fear. Peace is not impatience. Peace is not. I understand what is peace. So peace is not these things. Then I see, oh, I said I choose peace. But I do see some of these things here in this antakarana, iti. So now I say, let me be ready to let go of these things which I am holding on to. Iti. So the mindset becomes, so we must familiarize ourselves with what we want. Supposing you say, I want peace, then you familiarize yourself with what is the nature of peace. What exactly is peace? Maybe in reality I am peace. How can I embody peace in my life? Iti. And then you take care to slowly process and remove the things which are not like peace. Supposing you say, I choose love, I choose joy, you know. So the other day I said, I choose peace, and then I found I'm a very impatient person. Or supposing I choose peace, and then you don't have titiksha, then you will be not a peaceful person if titiksha is not there. Iti. So like that, we need to really, so that's why change is very difficult, because the nature of the mind is to go towards what it is familiar with. Therefore, if you want to make a change in your mind, you become familiar with what you want to change. Become familiar at what it means. Therefore, it does mean, as Swamiji says, dwelling upon, thinking about, dwelling upon, bringing that right understanding, iti, and sometimes having to repeatedly do it. एक साथ से नहीं होता है, because many things are a habit. So repeatedly करके हम अपने habits को change करते हैं. iti. Therefore, this yogi business is not easy. It is a big tapas. Iti. Continue, uncle, when I am exposing myself.
When I am exposing myself to the teacher, it is for the purpose of gaining that understanding. If we ask the teacher to help us to bless us for other purposes, such as astrological charts, that does not work. He may know about astrology, but this is a different matter. He is competent for one thing, and we should use the teacher for that one thing, namely to get the right understanding. Then there is a healthy relationship. Otherwise, all kinds of problem will come. Somebody gets more attention from the teacher, and somebody gets less attention, and so on. All this emotional build-up is there when our priorities are not clear. Our priority must be learning and nothing else.
Yeah, you know what
Yes.
happens in an ashram background, no? All these problems the teachers have to face, because ये students फिर अपने बीच में थोड़ी सी jealousy वेलेसी बहुत थोड़ी नहीं बहुत होती हैं. So they'll say, no, Swamiji looked at that person, didn't look at me. Swamiji smiled at that person, didn't smile at me. ये सब चलता है. That's why Swamiji has to make this statement, All this is an emotional build-up. Your attention should be on learning and nothing else. Okay.
This is very difficult. After all, there is a person, which means that the emotions are going to be there. But the fewer expectations we bring, the healthier the relationship is. The healthier the relationship with teacher, the more open the mind is, and more effective the teaching becomes. As best as possible, stay away from the comparison and so on, and relate to the teacher as a teacher, only as a source of knowledge.
Yes, very nice. Now it is Anita.
Yes.
These teachers, some of them have suffered a lot. So Puja Swamiji just say, I'm a sitting duck for other people's projections. तो बहुत suffering होता है क्योंकि all types of students come, no, especially if it's an institution. तो institution they all come कि 1 year course, 3 year course, 6 month course, इतना course करने के लिए. तो उसमें सब लोग साथ में बैठे और सब एक दूसरे को देख रहे हैं. तो स्वामी जी ने उसको देखा, मुझको नहीं देखा, उसको वो सेवा दिया, मुझको ये सेवा दिया, माने इसमें नॉट ओके, सम आर क्लोजर टू हिम. सेवा दिया उनके डाइनिंग हॉल में, और मुझे तो दिया सेवा टू क्लीन द डाइनिंग हॉल. ऐसे करके बहुत अंदर अंदर बहुत दुख होता है लोगों को. एंड देन दीस पुअर टीचर्स हैव टू डील विद इट. तो स्वामीजी यूज्ड टू से आई एम अ टेफ्लॉन सॉन. आपको जो है बोलो मेरे पास से. मैं एक टेफ्लॉन सॉन हूं. Okay, now Nita.
Shraddha creates the right relationship with the teacher.
This is the ideal situation, which we call Shraddha. Shraddha is a healthy trust arising from understanding. You don't put your trust just anywhere and everywhere. You can also test whether the person is trustworthy or not. Take your own time and trust will develop if it is there. In any case, Shraddha is not something we can just will. It has to happen. In this way, it is like love, devotion, and reverence. We allow Shraddha to happen and we pray for it to come to us. Shraddha creates the right relationship with the teacher and opens the channels of our mind for receiving the knowledge. It is the most important thing in the pursuit of knowledge. Lord Krishna says, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. The one who possesses Shraddha in abundance gains the knowledge. We relate to the Upanishad and to the teacher with Shraddha, seeing them as a Pramana. This is what is
Vishruta.
Vishruta, heard from wise people.
Hmm.
The word Nigma Acharya Vakeshu is a compound word. One meaning of the compound is the words of the Upanishad and the Acharya teacher. It can also mean the words of teacher of the Nigama, that is the Veda. This means that it is not the words of the scriptures, but rather the words of the teacher who is unfolding the scriptures. Thus, the word refers to one who has Shraddha or implicit faith in the veracity of the teacher's words.
Nice. So below over there in the footnotes is the breakup of the compounds, that
Yeah.
is given. So that's okay. We need not look at it. Samadhanam. Now we are finished with Shraddha and we are coming to the topic of
Samadhana.
Samadhanam with Soni uncle.
Yes, Guru.
Soni uncle, you read 2 paragraphs, okay?
Okay. Samadhanam, single pointedness of mind. The second line of verse defines the sixth value, which is Samadhana. Samadhanam is the same as Samadhi. The author gives us the meaning, which is Chitta Ekagrata, single pointedness of the mind, a single focus of the mind in Vedanta. The Yoga Shastra also talks about Ekagrata, single pointedness. In that context, it means Sarvikalpa Samadhi, absorption of the mind, whereas a slight duality of meditator and meditation remains. The final state of mind is called Nirodha, where even that duality does not remain. But should I continue?
Yeah, please continue.
Pursuit of knowledge requires awarefulness and focus. In Vedanta, Samadhana is not absorption of the mind. Absorption is a wonderful thing, but there we want to be awareful. To Samadhana means a single pointed focus in the pursuit of knowledge. The pursuit of knowledge is in the form of Shravanam, Mananan, and Nididhyasana. An aspirant equipped with the values goes on the teacher and submit to the teacher, sits at the teacher's feet and listen to the scripture. As says Yajnavalkya says to Maitri, his wife.
Atma va ari drashtavyah, shrotavyah, mantavyah, nididhyasitavyah.
This is Yajna. Hey Maitri, Atma must be seen, known immediately, heard of, reflected on, and meditated upon. You can call it drishti, vision, or Aparokshanubhuti, immediate experience. It simply means knowing yourself immediately as you are, which is the only way to find fulfillment in life.
Let's stop here. So it says the only way to know, it simply means knowing yourselves immediately as you are. Okay. So it's a very important thing here. This is Aparoksha Anubhuti, knowing yourself as you are. So if when we know ourselves as the body, as the mind, as the intellect, or as the ego, we are not knowing ourselves as we are. We are knowing ourselves in association with the body, in association with the mind, in association with the ego. That is not knowing oneself as we are. Knowing myself as I am is to know myself without that association of body, mind, and the ego. Iti. So that is called as actually knowing yourself as you are, recognizing yourself immediately as you are. Eh? So that is what here that word as you are contains a lot. Okay. And that's why he says, when you know yourself as you are, then you know yourself as Purna. Because when you know yourself in association with the body, you know yourself as Apurna. Because body is Apurna. When you know yourself in association with your mind, you know yourself as Apurna. Because mind is Apurna. What to do? It is not perfect. Iti. The only way you can know yourself as Purna is to know yourself as you are, not in association with either the body, the mind, the memory, the ego, with none of these. Then you know yourself as Purna. And he says that is the only way to find fulfillment in life, because the only way to know yourself to be Purna. Iti. Hmm? Yeah. So
Right
he's
now,
saying that. Hmm.
right now, you also see yourself, but as a Jivatma, a limited being, which is not true. When you see yourself as you are, as a complete being who is always free, that is fulfillment or success in life.
Yeah. That is the way he is looking at it. Now, this section is a very long section, so I would like to read it. We have some time here. Yeah, Auntie, Saroj Auntie, I am
Yes.
bypassing you for the time being, because a very important section here, and
Okay.
I may keep saying something or the other.
Hmm.
Pursuit of knowledge is a process. The phrase Atma va are drashtavya, Atma must be known, drashtavya, tavya, is an injunction. It means that you have to know yourself. Some say that there cannot be an injunction where knowledge is concerned, because knowledge is determined not by will but by the object itself. This is a big topic. Knowledge is Vastu Tantram, Natu Purusha Tantram. Vastu Tantram means knowledge, the object determines the knowledge. You don't determine the knowledge. If this is orange color, the color determines that the knowledge is that it is orange. I can't say now it is blue or it is pink or it is green or it is brown or anything. It is orange, therefore it is orange. That is knowledge. Eh? Iti. So Purusha Tantra would be if I say that no, actually it is blue and it is pink and it is this thing. That means it is centered on my interpretation. But knowledge is not centered on my interpretation. Knowledge is as per the object. So people are saying, how can you say that, na, Atma va are drashtavya. Drashtavya, there is this tavya pratyaya added over there, meaning it must be known. That means it's an injunction. How can knowledge be an injunction? Iti. Because knowledge is just dependent upon the object, it's got nothing to do with you. If it is orange, it is orange. If it is blue, it is blue. It's got nothing to do with you. Whereas an injunction is something which you have to do. Iti. So how can this be an injunction? There's a big argument on this. But Puja Swamiji very nicely points out here. Yeah, it means that you have to know yourself. Some say that there cannot be an injunction where knowledge is concerned, because knowledge is determined not by will but by the object itself. This sentence is not an injunction about knowledge, however. It is stating that the self is to be known. And there is a process by which you come to know, namely Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. So this is not an injunction about knowledge. It's about an injunction for you to know that you should know the self. You know, you should know who you are through this process of Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. The primary process is Shravana, listening to the unfoldment of the scriptures from a teacher. During Shravana, false notions keep on dropping. This is nothing but vichara or deliberation. Because in Shravana only you will be told that, see, the body is something, it is omact, it is an object, it is matter, right? And it is full of attributes, it is temporary, it is changing. So you come to know this, that this is the nature of the body. So how can I be the body? You are not the body. You are that which illumines the body. You are that which enlivens the body. You are different from the body. So once that bit of knowledge during Shavana is given to you, then you are dwelling on that. You are thinking about it. And then that idea that I am the body, you are able to let go of it. And you are able to say, okay, I am the consciousness which enlivens this body. Iti. Okay, so through Shravana, we drop some of our notions keep on dropping, and this is all through Vichara, because you will deliberate on the words of the Shastra. As we saw, the student's mind is very active at the time of Shravana, as the mind deliberates upon what the teacher is saying. Also, when the teacher gives an insight, the mind understands it with reference to its own present thinking and conclusions. If the student finds that their present conclusion or opinion is not right, then they let it go. Not so easy, but that's why we keep repeating. That is the process of shedding ignorance. Shravana literally means listening, but it really means vichara, as the next section will explain. Vichara means inquiry, investigation, or deliberation upon the nature of the self, the nature of Brahman. The right kind of vichara requires a certain setup. If I do it on my own, it will be influenced by my present conclusions. But when I'm listening to the teacher with a mind which is imbued with Shraddha, which includes implicit faith and reverence, devotion and surrender, then the teacher operates the mind of the student. It's very beautiful. The teacher operates, because now I've given my mind to the teacher. So now the teacher is saying something, so naturally the teacher is operating my mind. Iti. As Puja Swamiji would say, because now their minds are in tune. Teacher and student minds are in tune. Shraddha enables me to get my mind in tune with the teacher's mind. Then the teacher carries out the process of vichara in my mind through his words. It's so beautiful. Teacher will carry on the process of vichara in my mind through teacher's words. A deliberation upon the meaning of the statements of the scriptures, a deliberation upon the self, then takes place in the student's mind, and that is what brings about knowledge. This vichara is a means of knowledge, and it takes place in the student's mind when Shravana is occurring, as it should. Now, as we mentioned, Samadhana or single pointedness of mind is not absorption, because if the student were absorbed someplace, it would prevent Shravana from taking place. The student needs to be alert, undistracted, and focused upon what he or she is listening to. Samadhana also means samadhi, but that kind of samadhi is not necessary for Shravana. What is needed is a mind that is free from all distractions, a mastery over the mind in which you can focus your mind where you want to focus it. The Tikakara explains the term Chitta Aikagriya as Tad Eka Jignasa. Tad Eka Jignasa, meaning that the mind has only one desire, namely the desire for knowledge. The student's mind has but one desire, which is for knowledge. There is no other agenda.
No, again.
It's very interesting, the people who are into healing and all, they will listen to the Panchakosha. Okay, very interesting because I've been to such a place. They will listen to Panchakosha Viveka, and they will think that Panchakosha, Panchakosha Viveka, I don't know if you all remember from Tattva Bodha. From Tattva Bodha, we have learned that there are 5 koshas: the Annamaya kosha, the Pranamaya kosha, the Manomaya kosha, the Vijnanamaya kosha, and the Anandamaya kosha, right? So the healing people will say Annamaya kosha is for uh, eating properly, resting properly, doing this properly. Iti. So they will interpret everything in terms of healing: the Annamaya, the Pranamaya, the Manomaya, the Vijnanamaya. Whereas the purpose of Panchakosha is to point you to Atma, that none of these are Atma. In fact, Atma is something else. Iti. Yeah, it is only to point out the error that you're making. Iti. So the student's mind should have only knowledge in its mind. Iti. The lakshya or target here is Brahman. The word Sat is used here, meaning Sat Chit Ananda. So then we are not looking at the footnote because it's a technical thing, about the Sandhi rules. We're not looking at that. Brahman is the object of meditation, and thus the student's mind has one target, which is knowing Brahman. He doesn't know Brahman as yet. This is an interesting definition. How can there be ekagrata, single pointedness in Brahman when I don't know it? If I don't know Brahman, how can I focus my mind on Brahman? Here the Tikakara says that one's mind entertains only the desire to know Brahman. Because we are now at, sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, so the person is still not having the jnanam, but the person has got lot of viveka and vairagya, and therefore he now knows that he needs knowledge, and therefore his mind is now focused that I want knowledge of Brahman, and that is the sat lakshya. Okay? I want knowledge of Brahman. So at this point, samadhana or chit ekagrata, concentration of mind, means deliberating upon Brahman, inquiring into Brahman. Actually, basically here at this point, it means inquiring into Brahman. Yeah. And meditating upon Brahman. So before the student has started the process of Shravana, naturally he will be wanting to inquire into Brahman. Iti. That happens when the mind has only one agenda, which is to know Brahman. I put a question here. How come student has only one desire to know Brahman? How come? Why he has only one desire? Because he has Viveka. And because of Viveka, what was Viveka? Nityam Brahma, Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma Tad Anyat Sarvam Anityam, something like that. That was the definition. Other than Brahman, everything is Anityam. And there is only one Nitya Vastu, and that is Brahman. That the student understood. That Sarvam Anityam iti, he understood very well. Then where is the Nityam? Nityam is Brahman iti. Therefore, now, having understood everything is Anityam, student got Vairagyam. Because he has got Vairagyam, now he is in that frame of mind that he wants to know what this Brahman is, and that is his only agenda. So when the student is listening to the teacher with this frame of mind, the mind is focused on deliberation upon Brahman, which is the self. That is how the process of Shravana becomes most effective and fruitful. Ultimately, we also need Chitta Ekagrata once knowledge takes place in order to eliminate all other vrittis and create identification with Brahman. Okay? So they're saying two stages here. One is before gaining the knowledge, we need this kind of focus that I want to gain this Brahman knowledge and nothing else is more important. And after we gain the knowledge, also we need focus so that we are able to remove, I would not say, I don't agree with all of this too much. We are able to see that all the other vrittis are mithya and only Brahman is Satyam. I will put it that way. Okay. In order to eliminate all other vrittis. I will say, how will we eliminate? The simplest way of eliminating a vritti is to know that it is mithya. Once you know that is mithya, it doesn't count. So even if you have a vritti, it doesn't matter you're having the vritti, it doesn't count. Iti. So knowing that it is mithya and truly knowing it, truly in your heart, knowing that every vritti is only mithya, iti, then it doesn't count for you. If it is there, mithya. If it is not there, also, then good. Iti. Huh? If and how will you know something is mithya? Makes sense only when there is satyam. Unless you know what is satyam, how can you say something is mithya? You can't. Iti. So that person who knows what is satyam, that person can say that this is mithya. Iti. So this is all very this thing. So ultimately, we also need chitta ekagrata once knowledge takes place in order to strengthen our knowledge of Brahman. I'm going to put it that way, in order to strengthen and make it very firm and create our identification with Brahman. Iti. Actually, we don't need we are already one with Brahman. Iti. But at the ego level, we will say, okay, if you want to embody that in your life, then you have your eye sense will move from the body mind sense complex. The eye sense will move to Brahman. Iti. I am Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. Iti. So this is beautiful. The next section we will see next time. Know Brahman first, then identify with Brahman. Yeah, very nice. Okay.
Guru Maharaj, one question, but
Yeah.
You can't have a vritti of a Brahman because Brahman cannot be rectified.
Exactly.
So unless you go into that, I may be wrong. Samadhi means when you are one with, when you.
The point is you're already one with.
No, you are already one. But
how can you say when you are one with? Is it in time that you're going to be one with Brahman?
No, then automatically, if I am one with I am with Brahman, it is because of ignorance, which is actually not allowing me to be that. But once I am with Brahman,
no, you got it wrong. You are already one with Brahman. It's not that ignorance is not allowing you to be one with Brahman. Ignorance is not allowing you to know that you are one with Brahman. But you are already one with Brahman. There is no other, there is nothing else here anyway. You are one with Brahman.
But
what ignorance does is, it doesn't allow you to know that you are Brahman. It makes you think that you are something else. That's all ignorance does.
No, there is a big chain of ignorance contains all. That is what the sadhan chatushta. So unless I have a clarity of mind, I have a purity of mind, I have a peace of mind, I have a silence in mind. So unless all those qualities which are given in sadhan chatushta, then once I am with Brahman, then there will be no vritti at all.
This gives me makes me very sad. Don't say once I am with Brahman. There's no once I am with Brahman. You are Brahman.
No,
there is no once I am with Brahman.
No, but you see,
I am Brahman.
No, in Vyavharik life, I am going, I am coming. This is not allowed in Vedanta. They say you are a karta. So that way we are all our Vyavharik Jivan, we are all doing.
Exactly. Understand that the Vyavharik Jiva is mithya.
No, that we are
That's all. Once you understand that, whether your vritti is there, your silence is there, your silence is not there, it doesn't matter. For the time being, so that you can feel a little bit of that you are Brahman, maybe some silence is good.
No, Swamiji has written in order to eliminate all other vrittis.
Yeah.
So,
That
based,
elimination of vritti is going to be how? You tell me how. For how long will you eliminate vritti? How long will you be able to eliminate vritti, you tell me? 1 minute, 2 minutes, 1 hour, 10 hours? After that, the vritti will come back, then you're not Brahman anymore. The vritti comes back.
no, that is true for all those Raman Maharshi.
Therefore,
and
no, now
yeah.
understand.
Mhm.
Understand this very important point here, which will come again later. Swamiji has a tendency for this, which Puja Swamiji doesn't have a tendency. There is a little bit of difference in the way they teach. Understand this. Supposing a person understands, supposing, let's take hypothetically, here is a person who has understood that vritti is mithya. Okay, what does mithya mean?
Dependent.
It is not
Dependent.
Satya. It is jo hai, wo hai nahi. What appears, it is not there. You see. That is
Supposing
Mithya.
somebody understands that, then even if it is there, it is not there.
Yes.
You seeing what I'm saying? So whether vritti is there or not there will not matter anymore. Because the logic is bad, If you say that vritti must go, then I will ask you a counter question that for how long vritti can go? You can be Brahman only if vritti goes. Then when the vritti comes back, you're not Brahman anymore. Therefore, for the meaning of vritti going is understanding vritti is mithya. That is the real understanding of vritti going. Then vritti is gone because it's as good as not there. Once you understand it's mithya, you don't take it seriously anymore. Okay? Then it doesn't matter. If you're silent, that's very nice. Very, very good. If you're not silent, then also it is good because you're Brahman. Ah,
Yes.
this is knowledge.
Mm.
It's hard. It's not easy because
Very
we
hard.
all the time identify with
I know that I am Brahman. I know my wife is Brahman. But still we fight.
That's okay. That fighting doesn't matter, no?
So Brahman is fighting with Brahman. you see.
Exactly. Puja Swamiji
Brahman
had a
is
wonderful
fighting with
joke like this. Puja Swamiji used to make a beautiful joke. There were these two sadhus, and they were fighting. And they were saying, I am Shiva and he is also Shiva. So Shiva is fighting with Shiva.
Yes.
And then they say Shiva Shiva. And they laugh and go away.
Yes.
Shiva Shiva.
And then they laugh and go away. Policeman comes and says, what is this? What are you doing? He said, no, he is Shiva. I am Shiva. Shiva is fighting with Shiva. Both are
Yes.
Shiva Shiva. Shiva Shiva. They say and they go away laughing.
नहीं वो आपने ठीक कहा है कि when you know that it's all mithya, probably that will solve many of the problems.
When you actually,
Yeah.
what happens is with this study, you
Mhm.
will begin to spend more, you will begin to deliberate more on the understanding of mithya.
Mhm.
If what exactly does mithya mean? And is it possible to say something is mithya unless you know what is satya? Iti.
There, Guru Maharaj, I may not be misunderstood. In the lighter sense, now whatever we are doing, that is all mithya.
Absolutely.
Nothing is happening. You see.
You are absolutely right.
In terms of
That's why,
Vedanta,
that's
I am
why,
akarta, I am
Shankara
not doing.
says
Yes.
there is no teacher, there is no disciple.
No.
Very coolly he says, after all this teaching, itna bhashya likhe. And then he says there is no teacher, there's no teacher. All this is for what? All this is to be able to discover ourselves that in truth we are free of sorrow. That's all, nothing more. If it can make you light even for 1 second, we are all laughing now. If it can make us light, this, a flash, an insight takes place, tatak, like that. Suddenly you recognize, you say, oh my God, this is true. And then there's such a load goes off your, heart.
Mhm.
Then your loaded heart will come back afterwards.
Yes.
So we will listen again to Shastra. Again and again and again and again and again.
No, that is
So
happening every day. It is happening.
that vritti going is good. Actually, what happens is when we are able to enjoy that silence, a certain silence, it helps us to understand Shastra. That in fact, vritti is not a reality. Vritti comes and goes in the silence that I am. In the peace that I am, in the silence that I am, vritti is coming and going. So when I have silence, I'm able. So what needs to happen is when we have silence, we need to be able to say, "This is my truth. Silence is my truth. Everything else is coming and going." That reality shift, that silence is my truth. Otherwise, silence will be just like the vritti; it comes and goes. अभी साइलेंट हूँ बाद में साइलेंट नहीं हूँ वृत्ति इज ऑल्सो लाइक दैट अभी है कभी नहीं है अभी है कभी नहीं है अभी आता है फिर जाता है साइलेंस भी आएगा और जाएगा सो इज साइलेंस द सेम is the silence or peace which we are talking about is the same as vritti? No, it is not the same as vritti. It is the underlying, it is the adhishtanam of every vritti. That is an understanding, that's a cognition, which takes place. That I am the silence or I am the peace in whose presence vritti comes and goes. And so then one should be able to hold on to that, make it firm. That this is who I am. I am not the coming and going vritti. I am this peace. Any moment of peace you get for any reason, and you say, I am this peace. Yeah? Okay, with that, now you guys will not have time for tea also. Okay. Swasti, no, we'll say, Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om asatoma satkamaya. Tamasoma jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Harihi Om. That's it.
Omo no Narayan.
Namo Narayana.
Pranam Guruma.
Namo
Pranam Guru.
Narayana.